And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another live Q&A on this, what day even is it? Friday. It's Black Friday. It's November 29th. It is my 25th birthday. Age reveal for those who didn't know. Do I look younger or older than 25? Let me know. Be kind. But it's my birthday, and every year, I think since 2021, maybe 2022. We'll call it 2022. I think this is my third year in a row doing a birthday live Q&A. It's a fun way to sort of celebrate. I love doing live Q&As. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. So I usually would do it in the evening / nighttime, but today there's a game on. This might reveal who's playing, if you know, at 7:30 on ABC. And so I gotta be, tuned into that. I can't be doing a live stream during that. But I got a Dr. Pepper Zero here, DP Zero. Cheers. And we're here. I'm answering your questions, hanging out for however long we hang out, like an hour, hour and a half, hour 45, no problem. Anyone know? I always reference that. I'm like, does anyone know? And then someone always is like, yeah, you say it every stream. But we're here, and I appreciate you guys. I see the birthday wishes coming in. Thank you guys so much for the kind words of support. But I'm here let's just have a good time, good vibes, and let's talk movies, shows, life, food, whatever, anything. Let's do it. Super chat's the way to go to guarantee I get right to your question, comment, or concern, because I won't be able to get to all these questions in the chat as they pile in here. I'll get to as many as I can. But super chat's the way to guarantee. It's also a birthday gift idea, if you guys are wondering. But anyway, that's that. Let's do this thing. Let's do it. DP0. It's locked and loaded. It's crispy too. It's hitting. Delicious. Thank you guys again for all the birthday wishes. I'll click on as many of these as I can as I see them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And happy birthday to you, Ryan, longtime supporter of the channel. We share the same B-Day, which is rare. There was someone in my high school growing up, actually all throughout kindergarten, everything, who also shared my birthday, and it was like a rivalry. Not really, but you're like, oh, that guy has my birthday. Like, you get territorial about it. Not really. Dogs by 50. That's what I'm repping. You can't see the G. It's a little further down. But Georgia Tech house divided, for those who don't know. Cam, my girlfriend, my lovely lady friend, as I refer to her sometimes on the channel, Georgia Tech fan. I'm a Georgia fan. They clash tonight. It's a big rivalry game. All right? Big rivalry game. So tensions are high. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Donovan says, you got me interested to binge Cobra Kai this past summer. Well, very nice. I hope you loved it. I'm pumped for season 6, part 3. I'm ready. What's your favorite CBM trilogy? I've always answered this differently, but I'm pretty confident it's the Raimi trilogy today. As a 25-year-old now, I can say that. Weird to say still. I think Raimi. Hopefully, a quarter of my life. Hopefully, I make it to 100. Knock on wood. I would say the Raimi trilogy is the one I've probably watched the most consistently, and I grew up with it as well, which just helps. So yeah, I'd say the Raimi trilogy probably. Jason Cruz, a longtime friend of the channel. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Jason's been in these streams for years. I think since 2020, which is crazy. 4 years of streaming, because I did my first ever live stream in 2020. Shout out Jason. Thank you for the super chat, man. I hope all's well with you, dude. I know we had chatted on Insta briefly, but appreciate it, dude. Thanks. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Jello Plays TV, a patron, the man. We got Movie Fan 2002 singing in the chat. My boy Starcourt Food Court modding. Shout out Jacob. There will be no leftovers. Yeah, I rewatched Thanksgiving last night. Still kind of bangs. It's a strong 4 out of 5 for me. It could climb its way into the the 2.5 range. And I'm clicking on these as I go through. Thank you guys again for all the birthday wishes. I look exactly 25. I'll take it. Why not? Happy birthday, Chris. Have you seen Gladiator 2 yet? Well, thank you for the B-Day wishes. And I have. I saw Gladiator 2 twice. I first saw it November 7th at a press screening. And it was one of those experiences where I was like, I can't review this movie until I see it again. And I know that, it's ideal to be able to get your review out first, get it out early just so it can get out there to people. But it was just like, I had to just say, no, I can't in good conscience review this film without seeing it a second time. And so I went and saw it the 26th. And then that same day, a piece of Stranger Things news dropped or something, or the next day, I don't remember. And so I had filmed it, and I have it filmed. I have a video called My Honest Thoughts on Gladiator 2, or We Need to Talk About Gladiator 2. I have that video filmed. I have a poster right here. I'll show you guys that I got at one of the theaters. When I saw Wicked, they just had these. I don't really want this poster, but if someone wants it, I don't know how I'd get it to you, but I have this poster for Gladiator 2. Look, the only thing I'll say, I've built up so much suspense. It's going to be so underwhelming when you guys actually watch the video now. I'll say that I have a score on my Letterboxd. That's what I'll say. And take of that what you will, but that's what I'll say so far. I'm building up this video because it's so late. I still want you guys to tune into it. But the video, I mean, I don't know when it'll drop. Maybe tomorrow. Not today. Today after this, I'm just chilling the rest of the day. But yeah, it's coming in time. It's coming. Again, thank you guys for the B-Day wishes, Cobra Kai fan. Little Fruits says, by the time it's your next birthday, we will most likely have watched Stranger Things 5 by now. Very good point. Motivation for the next 12 months. Motivation in life right here. And you're right. Like a year from now, we probably will have seen it, because even if they don't drop it until Stranger Things Day, that's a couple weeks ago in a year. So wild. Crispy Dr. Pepper Zero. Gotta love it. Hey, shout out Blake. Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. Hope all's well with you. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. And your Vols got a big game tomorrow. Big game. Hey, I hate to say this. Go Doors. All right. Anchor down, if you will. All right. Thank you for the super chat, though, man. Feliz cumpleaños, someone says. Big Spanish guy. Took Spanish in high school and college. Did you enjoy the UMass game last week? I ended up enjoying it. It took a while to get there, though. What's been your favorite birthday so far? I don't even know. I don't know. Like, the older I get, the more they kind of just mesh together. So they don't really stand. I mean, I'd have to really think on that. I don't know if I have an answer right now. I think one year in like middle school, we went on a field trip on my birthday, which was pretty cool. So I was here for that. I didn't have to do schoolwork that day. Very important question. Top 3 Thanksgiving foods. Great question, actually. I would say the first for me, it's in my family, it's called shoe peg corn casserole, which is basically just what most people would consider green bean casserole. You've got, green beans and corn in there. It's like one of those cream of insert name here soup things. I don't know. I'm not a cook. I don't claim to be a cook. And it has like crackers on top. That is my number one. I would say, very basic answer, macaroni and cheese is probably my number 2. And my 3 is deviled eggs. Oh, I could eat 20 deviled eggs right now. If you put a tray in front of me, they're going down the gullet. Elijah with the super chat saying, happy birthday. Bada, bada, boom. Gotta love it. This is not referring to the Costco guys, okay? This is referring to Dustin in season 4 of Stranger Things. A lot of you guys are probably like, what? No. Bada, bada, boom. It's a line Dustin says actually multiple times in Stranger Things season 4. What treat am I giving myself today? Hopefully a Georgia win. A Dr. Pepper Zero. Cam's making a cake. Other than that, I mean, not a lot, really. Chris, where do you think Wicked will be in your top 10 movies of 2024? It's top 3, and it might not be 3. We'll see. It's become a close battle for that top spot. I'm pretty confident no other movie I watched this year. I've only given 3 movies a 5 out of 5, and Wicked's one of them. And I recently watched all 3 of those movies more than once. Like, I've seen them all more than once. And I rewatched Challengers like a week ago. I watched Deadpool and Wolverine this month. And then I watched Wicked twice this month. And it's one of those 3 movies is my favorite of the year. It's very difficult to pin down, but those are my 3 favorites in no particular order. Probably. Don't want to spoil my list, but I kind of just did. Don't really care. It is what it is. All right. Looking through the chat here. What do I think the first Stranger Things spinoff will be about? Great question. I don't know. I really don't. I don't believe that it will have any of the main characters from Stranger Things. I think it'll be set in the same world and it will be live action, but I don't think we're actually going to see like Eleven or Mike in like 10 years or any of that. I think they'll go the route of maybe something involving the Upside Down in another city, in another era, like the 90s, perhaps. But I don't know how they're going to go about it. It's really a question I would love to see. The spinoff that I wanted forever and then kind of got the axe because of the first Shadow Play existing, because they would just kind of be on top of each other in the timeline, is I would love to have seen Joyce and Hopper in high school, because they talk about it a good bit in the show. You got young Bob in there. But that's all touched on in the first shadow play. So it kind of just would be recycling the same thing. And if that play is in fact canon, which they've said it is, it wouldn't really make sense for them to also go and make this live action show. So it's a little frustrating because I think that would have been the perfect spinoff, like a prequel. I mean, most great shows that get prequels, they work. Better Call Saul being a prime example, the prequel to Breaking Bad. Even House of the Dragon, despite its flaws, is a strong show. It's going to find its footing, I believe. It's had its ups and downs, but it's still, I think you go the prequel route. The prequel route for a show usually works for me, in my opinion. Those are just the two biggest examples I think of for popular shows, but that's a smart route to go. So I would have loved that, but I don't think we're going to get it, unfortunately. We got a super chat from Movie Fan 2002. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Chris, what is your favorite movie every year you've been alive? I have a video on this. I think I did this a few birthdays ago. It's difficult to think of off the top of my head, but how about I do the past? Is my phone in here? How about I do? Let me pull this up real quick. Okay. Let me see. I have my top 10 lists on Letterboxd, so we're going to cheat by going there. I don't know these off the top of my head. I want to make sure I get it right. So 2024, I'm not going to say because we're so close to the end of the year that I don't want to spoil it, but it's one of those three movies I just listed. All right, how about that? 2023 is Oppenheimer. Easily, actually. 2022, any guesses? It's Top Gun Maverick. 2021 is Spider-Man No Way Home. 2020 is it's either Onward or Tenet. I'm gonna say probably Onward right now. Yeah, I've seen Onward more. 2019. Now I'm just gonna I'm just gonna kind of go in blind now and I'm gonna pull something out of my ass, frankly. 2019. We got Endgame. I'm going Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't know why. I don't think that's at a 5 on Letterboxd for me, like a fool. I really irks me. Sometimes I'll give a movie a score and I'll look back and it haunts me. And I have all the power to change it. Nothing's set in stone. I'm just obsessive like that. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for 2019. For 2018, I will go Infinity War. For 2017, I will go give me in 2017. I'll take this would make, what? I feel like I'm going to answer this question. I'm just going to make this easy. I'm going to go to Letterboxd, which I'm a big promoter of. I love Letterboxd. I'm going to go to browse by release date. I'm going to go to the decade, and then I'm just going to click the year, and I'm going to go to the ones that I've seen. Like I'm going to say sort by films I've seen, which I think you can do. Or maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, for 2019, I already answered that. 2017, we'll go with, not The Last Jedi. I can tell you that for free. War for the Planet of the Apes is fantastic. 2017, we'll stick with, we'll go Dunkirk. I don't even know if that doesn't even sound right saying out loud. 2016, I would say at this very moment in time, it's either La La Land or probably... Yeah, it's probably La La Land. 2015, I would say is... love me some Inside Out. I'm just looking. These are really kind of just the top things popping up. 2014 is Whiplash. I didn't have to look. 2013, interesting year for the MCU in particular. 2013, I'd have to do like a deep dive on. 2012, a lot of great ones here. Silver Linings Playbook might be there, actually. And then I'll kind of stop in a second because I'm... Crazy Stupid Love. Oh no, Moneyball for 2011 easily. 2010 probably it's a toss up between Inception and Toy Story 3. And The Social Network. That was the year. Oh yeah, 2010. What a year! What a year for film. But no, kind of just babbling here. I have a video, and I would love to see if anything I just said actually lines up with that video. Someone can go hunt it down and let me know. But thank you for the super chat, and super chat's the way to go on these types of streams. There's so many questions, I won't be able to get to all of them. It's a huge way to help support the channel. Nick says favorite and least favorite Thanksgiving food. Favorite. Macaroni or choux peg corn casserole, as my family calls it, and no one else has probably even heard of it that way, but I'm weird. And then my least favorite Thanksgiving food, one I don't eat, is I don't even go for the sweet potato stuff. I don't go for that. It's not me. I don't do it. I'm kind of all right on sweet potato fries, but I just don't really go for it's not something I aspire to want to eat. Is it a dessert? Is it? I don't know. It's like a dessert, but it's posing as like a main side dish with the big boys. What are you doing? I'm kind of anti that, actually. I'm anti that. I have an issue with it. Well, I appreciate that. I hope to fuel everyone's passion for Stranger Things. I love talking about the show. I cannot wait for this new season. What's your favorite Star Wars trilogy? Comfortably the original trilogy. That's the only one that I think is perfect. Jason Crew's been here since the Tenet review. What a legend. What a freaking legend. Yeah, we have some CFB on right now. I'm competing with them. I mean, yeah, Oklahoma State. If I wasn't on stream right now, I would be watching Boise State play. And I probably will toss that on after the stream, to be honest with you. Someone said Chris looks 20. Well, thank you, I guess. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it all. I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, Letterboxd is the move. If you guys are not on Letterboxd, I cannot recommend it enough. We got another super chat from Haro73 saying happy birthday, Chris. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. What's your favorite Christmas movie? It's that time of year, ladies and gentlemen. I have a video on my channel. I believe I did a tier list of every Christmas movie I've ever seen. That was fun. And that was like 2022 or something. I remember I filmed that video, edited it, and posted it like on Christmas Eve night. I stayed up like super late doing it because I was like, I got to get this out. I got to do it. My favorite Christmas movies are Home Alone, number one. That's like the top dog forever for me. Really not far below that is Home Alone 2, to be honest with you. Lost in New York, cinema. Then I would say we get into, Elf is one that I go to, the Santa Claus, Die Hard, which is a Christmas movie. And then look, a controversial, not even controversial, more of we'll call it a hot topic nowadays, not the store. Polar Express is I have very fond memories of. Is the movie borderline disturbing in a way? Yes. The animation's a little off-putting. I will admit there are some scenes in that film that could be nightmare fuel, especially when they're on the back car of the train and Ebenezer Scrooge. He's like like the hobo on top of the train that's what they call him. I'm pretty sure his character's name is the hobo or the homeless man. I don't know. I'm not getting into that. Anyway, you can go look it up on IMDb. It's played by Tom Hanks, and he's like using like the string puppet of Ebenezer Scrooge. It's disturbing. It is. It's nightmare fuel. But I still like the movie, weirdly enough. And I swear to you, whenever I'm scrolling on TikTok, doom scrolling as some call it, I will come across a video this time of year that plays the Polar Express score, and I like almost cry. Like I freeze and like I'm overwhelmed by nostalgia. It's I can't sing. I wish I could, but it's the da-na, da-na. That was awful. But you get what I'm saying. I could maybe whistle it, but I have dry lips right now. Anyway, Home Alone 2 is amazing. I love me some Home Alone 2. Have you watched Lost? No, and I never will, and I'll tell you why. I've been spoiled in like elementary school or some I was like in middle school or something. I don't know. I was a young lad. That's all you need to know. And someone was like, yo, Lost? This is like the ending of Lost. And I was like, okay, I'm never watching that then. Thank you. I have no desire. I heard it falls off anyway, but I know how the show ends. And so I'm not going to waste my time watching it. I would also be watching it through like a lens of knowing pretty much everything that's like, it's like if you know the big twist of a movie, how it recontextualizes everything for you because you're watching it looking for the little hints. You're watching it like you've already seen the movie. And that just ruins things. And so I'm just never going to watch Lost. And that's why. I know how the show ends. Or I know like I think I do at least. I think I know a big reveal. And so I'm out on Lost. Gotta love it, by the way. We got a super chat from Mega Star Wars Rocks 99. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. They should change the name of the Stranger Things town from Hawkins to Hawktua, they say. Interesting. The Hawktua thing, is that still a thing? I see the Talking Talktua podcast. I see that a lot on my TikTok, the like satirical parody of it where they like recap it. I've seen that quite a bit actually on my TikTok, but fascinating concept here. Fascinating super chat. I appreciate it. Where are we at in the chat? Someone said game over. Saw anybody? Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. What a film. What a film. The first Gladiator is so good, and the second one makes me appreciate the first movie more. I agree with that without going too far into my thoughts. Are you excited for Mufasa? No. I've seen the trailer for this thing on TV. I abhor The Lion King 2019. Like, I actually hate that movie. And I always say, I was leaving the theater, and I got in a car accident. I was fine. Someone rear-ended me. But I remember that. And that is, like, when I think of The Lion King, I think of, oh, yeah, that person ran into the back of my car. that is also just how I feel about the movie. I think it's a train wreck because I don't want to get into it. But anyway, that movie stinks, and I'm not excited for Mufasa at all. I know that, is it Barry Jenkins directing the film, right? Is that correct? Director of Moonlight, which is a really good movie, Best Picture winner. He also directed Beale Street Could Talk, which I haven't seen, but still, I don't know why he's been tied down to this movie. And I swear to you, this movie would be more successful if it was animated. You can retcon anything you want from 1.5 or 2, the animated sequels. But just, I've said this on the podcast, which will make a return eventually. I think Disney, Walt Disney Animation Studios, that is, needs to go back to making sequels, but like actually quality sequels instead of just live action remakes and then live action remake sequels, because there's so much uncharted territory there. I know that most of the Disney movies have like a direct to DVD or VHS sequel, but you can just kind of scratch that. I mean, it doesn't have to be canon. They weren't ever theatrically released for a reason. So what I think is they should just make this Mufasa movie should have just been animated and bring back, voice talent that's living if you can, and recast if need be. But still, like, what are we doing? I think that would have been a gold mine, but this will probably still make a lot of money too. I mean, Moana 2 is lighting it up, and I think Moana 2 is, I was like, what am I have a review, but Moana 2, it stunned me how musically lackluster that movie was. Not a single song hit. And I've seen a lot of people agree with me since the movie's come out. Like, it feels like a shell of what Moana should be. And you can tell it was going to be a Disney Plus project. That's all I'm going to say. Favorite Lord of the Rings movie? Give me Fellowship of the Ring. Any Fellowship fans in the chat? I mean, for a while, I was like, Return of the King, Return of the King. Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite. It establishes not only the Fellowship and all the character relationships in the film, but it introduces us into Middle Earth. We also get so much like action, if you're into that. The Mines of Moria. You've got that whole middle act of the film, which is incredible. And then you still have the third act with, Boromir, Rip. And then you've got the orc battle. Like, I've seen on Twitter making the rounds, there's a clip from the end of that film. Like, the camera work in this one shot, it's insane. It's when, like, what moment is it? Oh, yeah. It's like all these, like, this huge, like, I'd say 100 orcs, maybe even more, are like sprinting through the woods. And then we see, like, Aragorn running. It's so sick. It is so cool. But yeah, hold on. Let me answer this real quick. I'm getting a call from Cam. Hello? You're on stream.
So sorry to interrupt. I took a picture before I left for the store. Is this it?
That is correct. Yep. You're welcome. Bye. Cam was at the grocery store and she called me, so I needed to answer that. But yeah, Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite. Phenomenal movie. Love it. I mean, I'm going to rewatch the Lord of the Rings movies. Hopefully, it's become like a winter thing for me. And I want to watch them. And I don't think I have time to do this, frankly, but I want to watch them, watch The Hobbits, and then watch the new one that comes out, War of the Rohirrim, the anime film, and then rank them all. I'd love to do that, but I don't know if it'll happen. I'm not going to guarantee anything because I dig myself into so many holes on movie challenges, and I just get in my head about it, and then I'm like, oh my God, I got to do all these things, and it drains the fun of watching movies, and so I'm like, I'm going to just chill, and we'll see what happens. That's what I'll say to that. We'll see what happens. Elijah with the super chat, thank you so much. Could we get a Stranger Things trailer during the Super Bowl in February? Damn yeah. Damn right. I don't know why I just said damn yeah. Is that even a thing? Damn right we could. Hell yeah. Whatever you want to say. Yes, I think this could happen. I also am kind of buying in, maybe delusionally, to the fact that we could get a trailer on Christmas. It's a Christmas gift, but the main reason is so many eyes are going to be on Netflix that day because there's 2 NFL games on Netflix on Christmas Day. So they're going to have a lot of traffic already, and it really wouldn't shock me if they said, hey, we're going to run a trailer or drop some news at least, like the release date would be big. But it's also Christmas Day, and then I would be like, wherever I'm at on Christmas, like I'm going to work now, so like getting to work on a video immediately if that's the case. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think the next 2 big golden opportunities for something to drop that would be obvious are Christmas Day and the Super Bowl. If we don't get anything after that, then it's kind of evident to me they're going to wait until about a month or 2 before it hits Netflix to start the marketing. Because if you look at most Netflix shows, they really don't, like established Netflix shows don't begin the trailer promo stuff until it's pretty much here. So we'll have to wait around and see. But I do think that by the end of this year, we'll get one more announcement for season 5. We got a month. We got a month and a couple days, so we'll see what happens. But I'm excited, and I think we'll get something soon. Excuse me. Dr. Pepper Zero. Luis with the super chat. Appreciate it. Am I the only one against Max or Will getting any sort of powers? I feel like it would take away what makes 11 and Vecna special. Yeah, I'm against both. I'm against that as well. I said that. I think I'm against Will especially getting powers. I think there's a route that I've discussed where Max is used as like sort of a vessel for Vecna, where she would technically have powers, but not on her own. Like she would be able to control them. Vecna would sort of be using her body, right? To to either see through her or maybe fight through her or something like that. But Will having powers, I do think would be a bit ridiculous. And especially if it became some sort of like Avengers team up moment where like 8 comes back and then 11's powered up already, obviously. And then Will's there. And it's like the Trinity versus Thanos in Endgame. Like that would be kind of cringe. I will admit that. If they handle it poorly, it could be a train wreck. So I'm not someone who's just going to blindly love whatever Stranger Things 5 is. I'm going to go in and hope for the best, like I've always done. I do that with every show or movie that I watch. And so it doesn't matter. Like I want to love Stranger Things 5, but if it's like objectively damn near, like if there's problems, I will bring them up, you know? So yeah, I think that would be an issue. They could pull it off. I believe in the Duffer Brothers fully, but if it's super cringe and doesn't make sense, like if it is like an Avengers moment, it would be a bit ridiculous if it's not, warranted or set up properly leading up to it the season. Like I would be nervous about it. So we'll see. I agree too. I think 11 and Vecna should just be the 2 ones with powers. Obviously 8 exists, but Will and Max kind of, I mean, not to say crosses a line, but it sort of goes into the whole believability thing. Like I've always said, something I love is how the human characters are underdogs in Stranger Things, and they devise these, intricate plans to overpower Vecna, outsmart him. That's what I've always been more interested in, is them in this underdog fight using their brains more than like their like physicality. And I don't want to see Will and Max and 11 like having this showdown with Vecna physically. I don't think that doesn't hit the same for me. And so I'm against that entirely. I am. I'll admit it. Great question, by the way. Favorite home. Thank you. Oh, is it going to click? It might not click. Hold on. That usually means the Wi-Fi is acting up, which is not good. So hopefully you guys can actually see and hear me still. Hello. We good? I think we're good. I'll look in the chat real quick before I continue. Can you guys see and hear me? Let me know. All right. We've already been going for 30 minutes. These streams fly by. They fly by. Let's do a speed round. For those who don't know what that is, it's where I click through and answer relatively quick. Thoughts on the 12-team playoff? In a way, it kind of waters down college football because you're just adding more games for more money. I still firmly believe that the 4 best teams, like usually will be the big brands with the most money that recruit the best. Those will probably be the 4 that make it to the Final Four anyway. The semifinals, that is, but we'll see what happens. Anything's possible. I'm 25 years old. Here's to 25 with my Dr. Pepper Zero. I love the original trilogy and love other projects from Star Wars. I also hate a lot of Star Wars and think the modern day vision is just, it's so heavily flawed. It's almost irreparable damage has been done to the brand. That's what I'll say. Deviled eggs, a no from me. That's what I think of that. I love deviled eggs. How do I know about the Costco guys? I have TikTok, and I see them on my TikTok pretty often. I know a lot. I see everything. No. Thoughts on Michael Sarnowski as a director? A Quiet Place Day One, I've liked less since I've sat with it. It may be my least favorite of the films of the 3, but it's still a well-made, suspenseful movie that actually, it's more human than I thought. It's more of like a human story between these 2 people living in this horrible scenario. Less of a horror film, which I'm okay with. Haven't seen Pig. Let's see. Am I still watching Marvel movies? Of course, yeah. I'll be watching Captain America: Brave New World in February. 100%, yeah. Which month do I think Stranger Things 5 release in? I'm delusional, and I think they're going to drop part 1 in July. I don't know why, but I'm going to stick to that until they prove me wrong. But realistically, probably November. so that they can drop it all at once, maybe, or like an October, November scenario, a November, December scenario to sort of line up with the time of year season 5 is actually going to take place in. That might be pretty cool to see. I'm not going to lie. The Bears just fired their head coach. So any Chicago Bears fans in the chat, they just fired that bum. Do you think we see Mr. Clark in season 5? Yes. I think Mr. Clark and other characters that have been supporting characters in the other seasons will come back in some capacity. That could mean the Mr. Clarks of the world. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some other comparable characters. Yeah, I mean, he's like the one that I would love to see come back, honestly. Of all the like supporting characters, I want to see Mr. Clark big time. Big fan of the guy. Big fan of the guy. Autograph tour win. Not a bad idea for a video. I've gotten quite the collection going, as you can sort of see a tease of over my shoulder here. Hear Me Out, Steve and Robin sequel, them becoming roommates and how they find jobs and relationship advice for each other and advice in general. I love those characters, but I think that I think those two in particular, especially the actors, are probably ready to move on from Stranger Things, so I doubt we'd ever see this. This might function better as like a book series or something, or like, I don't know because if it's like, it would just be too removed from the genre of Stranger Things, where it would just become like a drama, like a relationship drama series, and would it even have elements of horror, any elements of sci-fi, like the 80s? I don't know if that would work, honestly, but I honestly think however they wrap it up, we'll be able to have a clear vision as to what the spinoff will be. We'll know, okay, they're not going anywhere with that character, or they left the door open for this character to show up, but we'll have to wait and see. That's just going to let find out. Eddie, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Hope all's well with you. Shout out Eddie, long time. Eddie and I mean, we've been in talks since like 2020, which is wild, really. Thoughts on Conan hosting the Oscars? I think Conan's a very funny man who can work the crowd well. He's got a good stage presence. He's a showman, and I think he'll do a good job with it. I think he could also, he's not going to do anything too controversial. He's going to do a good job with it. I'll say that much. Do you think we'll see Callie in season 5? I don't think so. I don't want to see Callie in season 5, to be honest with you. Hey, Chris, I just watched Wicked. Can't wait for the second part. Me too. I'm pumped. Cannot wait. Much love from the UK. Well, there you go. Across the pond. I have watched the original Wizards of Waverly Place, but I haven't watched this reboot show they're doing. I haven't done it. Sweet potatoes are frauds. I mean, yeah. What is it? Is a cheesecake a pie? It's a cake, in my opinion. It's in the name. What's my favorite pie? Apple pie. I got some leftover apple pie in the fridge. Apple pie warmed up with some vanilla ice cream. Whew, you can't beat it. That's like the goated dessert. I always think of, in the movie We Are Marshall, McConaughey's character eating this apple pie at a diner. My God, he makes it look so incredible. And that's like if someone asked me, hey, what's your favorite scene with pie in movies? It's got to be that. We Are Marshall. Dr. Pepper Zero, baby. Chris, what's your favorite episode of Stranger Things? You can only pick one. Screw it. The Battle of Starcourt. I said it. Favorite Batman film? The Batman or The Dark Knight. Depends on my mood. But yeah, as a Batman film, I mean, it doesn't really get better than The Batman for me, especially someone who loved the Arkham games. It's like you took the best elements of that game, you threw it in a movie with Pattinson as Batman. We get Detective Batman. I love it. I love that movie so much. Steve and Hopper, and they're tied, but Hopper would get the edge in a tiebreaker. Top 10 movies off the top of your head. It's too tough to answer. Too tough to answer. But you can go to my Letterboxd and see 4 of those 10. Favorite color? Probably red. I like blue. I'm basic. Am I a gamer? I play games rarely. I'm not a gamer. I specifically specialize in sports games. College Football 25 is the one I play the most. Now, I have played, Jedi Fallen Order. I've played the Spider-Man game. Haven't played the sequel, and I've played the Arkham series and Uncharted, but I don't game enough to call myself a gamer. I rarely fire up video games outside of College Football 25. Dr. Pepper Zero. Thank you, Emily. I appreciate that. Keep Watch Burn, Thanksgiving, The Son-in-Law, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I haven't seen The Son-in-Law, so by default, I get to burn that one. I'll keep Thanksgiving and watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I wasn't the biggest fan of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Not to say it was bad. It just was. I was like, that's fine. That was fine. But I just watched it once. And I don't know if I want to watch it again anytime soon. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's just one of those movies that I didn't love. It was fine. That's kind of how I felt walking out of it, but didn't love it. Cody O'Toole in the chat, man. How you been, dude? Hope you're doing well. I appreciate the kind words, man, and keep crushing it yourself. I follow you on IG and I see you crushing it in the plays, man. So keep at it, dude. Hope all's well with you and Ryan, of course, as well. Ollie's in the house as well. What a guy. Got to meet Ollie in person at the Upside Down Con. Thoughts on the Penguin? I thought it was phenomenal. I still haven't finished the Penguin. It makes me sick. Makes me sick that I haven't done it. It's because I was like, I gotta watch the Batman before, and that's been holding me back. I will watch the Penguin before the end of the year because I'm gonna do a tier list or some sort of ranking of all the TV shows I've seen this calendar year. But I'm sick about it. Really, I'm sick about it. And so many people are like, you would love this. This is your thing. You love the Batman. You also love like the dramas, like Breaking Bad type stuff. This is your thing, man. And I'm like, I know, I just haven't watched it. And I'm a coward for not watching it. That's what I am. What can I say? I'm a slacker, McFly. Let's see. I have seen Interstellar multiple times in my life. It's a fantastic film with a great score. It's not the most rewatchable because it's very emotionally taxing to sit down and watch that movie. It's a heavy watch. It's heavy, Doc. But it's really, really well made. McConaughey's best performance, arguably. I mean, I don't know. No one asked. I'm now posing the question. Is it? It could be. And you know what? I'm going to say his best performance is in True Detective Season 1. Favorite birthday cake flavor? Yellow cake with chocolate icing. Whew. That's my jam right there. Love that. I appreciate the B-Day wishes again from everybody. It means a lot. Let's see. Who do you think is the most savage sitcom character ever? So like someone who has mic drop moments and doesn't hold back with the burn. I mean, that's a good one. Let me think. The most savage sitcom character ever. Ooh, I'm gonna go with a couple. There's a few that know how to bring the burn. If that's kind of the route I'm going. Like, damn, that was savage. A couple that come to mind are Barney Stinson. That's one of them. I would say, other than that, I'm trying to think. You know what? I'm going Dennis Reynolds. He's savage in more ways than one. And he loves to say, savages, idiots, savages. Dennis Reynolds. That's my answer. What is your favorite movie trailer of the year? Fantastic question, man. I love this question. Mine's The Final Reckoning. I saw The Final Reckoning teaser on the big screen before Gladiator 2. I was like, this movie's going to be cinema. I mean, the Mission Impossible series hasn't missed since 2000. Is that when MI2 came out? 2000 or 2002? Yeah, I mean, that trailer's awesome. I would say that's up there. I loved the first trailer for Gladiator 2 quite a bit. I always come back to the MCU a lot of times. The Deadpool and Wolverine trailers, both of them were awesome. I mean, yeah, best trailer of the year. I mean, it's one of those. The Gladiator 2 one really got me going, but I would say I got to go with probably Deadpool and Wolverine, which is basic, I know, but the MCU just knows how to make a damn good trailer. And you know what? The Thunderbolts trailer hits too. Like, they've been on a roll with their trailers, in my opinion, why have we not gotten an official Daredevil Born Again trailer? Every day, I swear, discussing film or someone tweets out and they're like, new look, first look at Born Again. And it's like the same 5 pictures we've seen 100 times. So it's not actually a new look. It's just like a first look. I think that's what they say. First look. Well, we've seen 30 first looks, so it's not the first look. Any predictions on the next Nolan movie? I think it's going to be badass. I think it's going to be less Oppenheimer, more Tenet. Excuse me. Come in. Is it time for an indie cameo?
Yeah, he just woke up. Like, he was asleep right where I
Baby
left him.
boy. My baby boy. Cameo time.
Indy check. He's huge.
Look at that baby boy.
Say hi, Indy.
Hey, buddy.
Today is also the 3-month anniversary of us getting Indy.
He's so demure. Look at him.
He just woke up.
He's like, this bright light is not nice. He's a lot calmer now. Last time he was trying to run on the damn stream and take the camera down. Oh, I spoke too soon.
We actually have 2 cats. One when he's very awake, one when he's very asleep. When he's asleep, he's a sweetheart.
Yep. That's baby boy.
Oh, you forgot to
That's my
mention
son.
when you were talking about the games that you play.
You were watching the stream?
When you
at that.
scroll, eventually you'll see all my words.
Oh, I think you did actually. Yeah, say something in the
You
chat.
played The Last of Us. And
I played The Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2.
And you dabble in Hogwarts Legacy.
I dabble in Hogwarts Legacy. These are all truths. Bye,
my,
Bubba.
my nose is all stuffy because I just came from outside.
Sweet Indy. There's the cameo of Indy, the weekly or the once a live stream cameo. But next Nolan movie, I mean, you got a stacked cast. You got Pattinson, Holland, Damon, Zendaya, Charlize Theron, Lupita Nyong'o. I'm forgetting someone, Anne Hathaway. I think it's going to be more Tenet than Oppenheimer. When I say that, I mean I think it's going to be an action-packed film. I think it's probably, I've seen this rumor of it being about helicopter pilots. I think he's going big spectacle. I think we're going to have like, you know how in Tenet we have the highway scene? My God, I think we're going to have like 2 standout action scenes where he just goes balls to the wall with like helicopter action. I think it's going to be incredible. I don't think it's going to be the type of Nolan movie that gets him a director nom or gets him, a best picture nom. I think it's just going to be a freaking awesome movie that lights it up at the box office. So, if you look at what he usually gets nominated for, it's, the Dunkirks of the world, the Oppenheimers of the world. But then he goes and makes Tenet. He goes and makes Interstellar. He goes and makes The Dark Knight. And those don't get as many noms. Inception technically did get nominated for a lot of stuff. But I don't think it's going to be a huge Oscars contender. I would love it if that's the case. I mean, a lot of movies like that still get noms, Top Gun Maverick being one of them. But I would love it if it won a lot of Oscars. I'm a huge Nolan guy. Unashamedly, I'm a Nolan fanboy. But yeah, I'm ready for that movie. I've seen episodes of Full House growing up, never sat down and I don't think watched it all from beginning to end. Brian says, what's your favorite Outer Banks character? I would probably have to say I'm a fan of Pope Hayward. I also I liked someone. I'll say that much. I did, and then they kind of got a little too dumb, just full on stupid every episode, every decision they made, and I won't have to worry about that anymore, I guess. But yeah, I also like Sarah Cameron. Top 3 holidays, give me Christmas, give me Christmas is comfortably number one. I would probably say, I Thanksgiving kind of overrated. That's not a bad holiday, but I've kind of realized with age, it's a little overrated. But I would say Christmas, maybe Halloween. I don't know. And then I like the 4th of July, but I also like Thanksgiving. So we'll see what, as I get older, if that list changes or not, but we shall see. Dr. Pepper Zero, baby. Again, appreciate you guys being here. We've been going for 42 minutes already. Hell of a stream so far. And Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get your question. I won't be able to get to all these, but it's a huge way to help support the channel. All right, let's keep going. Did I watch the Paul versus Tyson fight? I actually did. I did for some reason. I had it on late at night, and it was kind of pathetic. I think it was a con, really, at the end of the day, for them to just make boatloads of money and not actually fight. And that's kind of most of those major fights like that. They're like, hey, let's sell this in promo and build up all this drama and hype, and then just make millions and walk away with no injuries. And we don't really do any work. So that's kind of that. Got to give it to them for promoting, though. What can you say? So it is what it is. All right, let's see. What actor do I want to meet besides David Harbour from Stranger Things? He's number 1 comfortably on that list of who I haven't met that I want to meet. Other than that, I would probably say I would love to meet Sadie Sink, who plays Max, would be great. And then, it would be awesome to meet Winona Ryder, but that will never happen. I don't think Winona Ryder's ever done a con. I don't think she ever will. So, yeah. Jenna is in the house. Hello, Jenna. Meters Reviews, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing, bro? I appreciate that. What are the movies at the top of your must-watch list before the end of the year? So there's a couple movies I haven't seen that I need to. And I actually have a list, and I have a list of my notes right now. I'm pulling it up. And I'm weird. I have a bunch of different tabs. I'm a big tab guy in my notes. There's some movies I haven't seen. I'll answer this 2 ways, by the way. So if you haven't seen, my must-watch movies that I have seen would be Wicked, Deadpool, and Wolverine, obviously, and Challengers, okay? But if I'm saying movies I haven't seen that I'm going to watch before the end of the year. Here's the list for you: Conclave, Anora, A Real Pain, The Wild Robot might be number one because so many people have said to watch it. And I saw you have that movie, I think, highly rated, Ben. I would love to also watch. Those are like the ones that I got to see. And there's a couple in there I'm like, maybe I'll get to them, maybe I won't. But those are the ones right there. Those 4 that I need to see before the end of the year. So yeah, gotta get around to those. Got to. But no, I appreciate the support, Ben. Hope all's well with you, man. Keep crushing it. I saw your video on the buyer's house and I'm going. Hell yeah. Very nice. Hope you have a great time. It was a really cool property. And you feel like you're stepping into the show when you go there, which is awesome. Very, very cool. Very cool. Which NFL team do you support? None of them. College football or bust? Let's see. Star Court, Food Court. The man, of course, he's great at modding. He always is. He always is. Top 3 superhero movies in the order. I'll go. Let's see. Shoot. I'm going to say, honestly, top 3 superhero movies of all time would be Infinity War. I would then probably take Spider-Man. And then I would probably also take a DC movie just because I want it to be, I'm just answering it this way. An MCU, a DC, and then for DC, I'd probably say the Batman, but it could be the Dark Knight some days. I swear both of those go back and forth. The Dark Knight's hyped up and praised for a reason. It's a phenomenal movie. It's an achievement. It's an achievement. Do you think Johnny reopening his version of Cobra Kai in part 3 will happen in some way? So interesting. So are you saying, do I think that in Cobra Kai season 6, part 3, we'll see like Johnny recounting some of his time in Cobra Kai, like the dojo itself back in the day differently, like how we saw when he was telling Miguel his POV on the whole Karate Kid movie? Could be the case. Could be the case. Could be the case. I don't know, though. Chris, without spoiling it, for those who haven't seen the stage musical, do you remember how Wicked ends? I do. I know, yeah, I mean, I've seen the stage play, but I didn't. Here's the thing I'll say. I won't spoil anything. No one freak out. I didn't remember a certain reveal that happens. And then when we walked out of the movie the first time and we were driving home, I said to Cam, I didn't remember this until I heard this person's voice. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. And I literally watched the movie with the knowledge of that reveal that may or may not happen, like as if we were just supposed to know. Like, I think it was it's pretty obvious. And I've seen social media knowing it as well. But and you guys probably should know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie. But there's like a moment where a character sings some lines and you're like, oh, that's just very blatantly this person, right? But you're like not supposed to know. But I immediately looked at Cam. I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, I forgot. But that's sick. So, yes, I know how it ends. Most of it. I don't remember every detail, but I do know some of the big reveals. You should do a Black Friday Blu-ray haul. Well, I would if Best Buy was open. Best Buy doesn't even sell Blu-rays anymore. Target doesn't even have them on the shelves anymore. It makes me sick. It really does. Like it makes me ill. And even then, I don't want to go into Walmart. Walmart's so hectic already. So, look, I mean, I could do like an Amazon thing, but I think I made like a final Blu-ray haul and I kind of put it to rest back in January of this year, which crazy that was this year, but I've put to bed, I think, the Blu-ray stuff, and it's like not buying Blu-rays. Honestly, you guys deserve this. It's my B-Day, and you guys if you're still in here, you're a real one. I got sent some movies from Disney. They send me stuff, and I have a big stack right here. And so I'm going to post this on my Instagram story at some point. But this came, and I'm going to shut up. I don't know. I can't speak in times. Anyway, I got a bunch of Steelbooks from Disney. Loki Season 2. Mando Season 3. Ahsoka Season 1. Hawkeye Season 1. That's all sick. They've been sending me those, all of the ones they've released I've gotten from them. And this is what's sick, and I know my boy Jacob's going to love this. I was going to send him a picture. Romulus Steelbook. Romulus VHS. I will be rewatching this before the end of the year because I just need to. I think I was like it's one of those situations where I need to watch this. I know I liked this movie. It was like a 4 out of 5 for me. But when I watch this movie again, I know for a fact I'll like it more. And this is a functioning VHS, by the way. That's so cool. I'll like it more because I know what I'm getting into with the final 10 minutes. That's like, it just derailed it a bit for me. I was like, this is a little out there. But now that I know what I'm getting into, I think I'll like it more. So there's your Blu-ray haul. Rate Interstellar from 1 to 10, probably like a 9, 9.5. I can't say 10 right now because I haven't seen the movie. I literally have not seen the movie since 2017. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've seen Interstellar since 2017, which is nuts. I know it's nuts. I don't know why. Truly, I'm going to see Wicked today with my family. I hope you enjoy. Have a great time. Everything Good Will Hunting. Yeah, it's a top. I'd say that's a top 10 movie for me. Easily top 15. And at times where it was top 4, it just depends. There's so many films out there. It's hard to rank them all, but it's up there for me. And I'm considering doing a freaking, what's it called? A top 25 movies for turning 25, but I'm not committing to that. I don't know. Let's see. 1 second. Let me actually take care of something real quick. One second, sorry. All right. Anyway, let me do something real quick. All right, we're good. Just had to take care of something. Am I going to watch the Minecraft movie? I am going to join the Minecraft. I am going to watch the Minecraft movie, even if I don't want to, because sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I got to just see what this is. Like, I think the trailers have been borderline disastrous. I almost just spilled this everywhere. I think the trailers have been like borderline disastrous, and not, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this movie's going to make money, except for the fact that it says Minecraft, and that's all that matters. People are going to see that Minecraft IP, and they're going to go buy a ticket worldwide. It's probably going to do numbies. I don't think the movie's going to be any good, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people apparently like this new trailer. I didn't. I really didn't, guys. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to catch Interstellar in theaters, but it's really cool it's re-releasing. Isn't that next week? Like this December 6th, it comes out, I want to say. We'll see. Doubtful. I think it probably already sold out. I want to say most of the IMAX 70mm screenings, were what's it called? We're sold out. They were all sold out, pretty sure. So what do you think the most underrated sitcom couple is? Underrated sitcom couple. That's a real tough one because I got to think of all the sitcoms I've seen. Underrated sitcom couple. No, not that one. They're properly rated. If not, I mean, yeah, Marshall and Lily are goated, and they're not underrated. That's from How I Met Your Mother. Underrated from The Office. Shoot, I don't know. Underrated. That's a really good question that I don't think I have an answer to, unfortunately. Underrated. We'll go with. Yeah, don't know. Top 3 franchises of all time. I would still have to put Star Wars in there, which is like crazy because of what they've put out recently. But it means a lot to me still, even like through the crap we've had to sort of get through. The MCU, and then probably Harry Potter, but even then, no. Indiana Jones and Star Wars because of the first 3 movies in both of those franchises. And those just hold a lot of weight to me. And then the MCU has such greatness. UGA was a close one night, 35-31. Hey, I'll take it. It's a W, But I think Georgia's going to win that game. I think Georgia's going to win that game 38-17. I've watched the highlights back of the past 3 games we've played. And interestingly enough, in the past 2 games we've played, 2022 and 2023, Georgia Tech went up 7-0. So I fully expect them to do that tonight. They'll come out, they'll have a scripted drive, and they'll get up 7-0. Buster Faulkner, calling the plays at Georgia Tech, was on staff at Georgia last year, so he's going to know that defense. He's going to have them ready. They're going to be fired up. They're going to use all their juice early. They usually do. They'll go up 7-0, maybe 10-0. Tennessee did. Then what's going to happen from there is Georgia's going to make the adjustments need be. Carson's going to play a hell of a game. Defense is going to get their ass right, and Georgia's going to score a lot in the second half. Georgia's going to win the game 38-17. When it happens, come back here. Hopefully that doesn't age poorly. All right. Did I like Spider-Man 3? Yes. Now dig on this. I'm a fan. Spider-Man 3 rules, actually, and I think it's overhated. It's memeable as hell, but it's infinitely rewatchable because of it. I swear. Go watch that movie and you'll have a blast. There's a lot of flaws. It's a heavily flawed film, but it's still so enjoyable. And I don't care. It's so rewatchable, I swear to God. Hold on. All right, put that there. I appreciate the B-Day wishes again, guys. Thank you. What's your favorite type of cake? I answered this earlier, but the question was birthday cake, and I answered that. So I'm going to give you just an overall cake. Big fan of red velvet cake. It's like, if you do a red velvet cake right, ooh, I love carrot cake. Glad you're going to watch The Wild Road Up by the end of the year. Yeah. I'm going to watch it with Cam, and I was like, should we see this in theaters? I heard it's really sad. And she's like, I probably want to be in the comfort of my own home to watch that. I was like, valid. I heard it's a movie where you got to cry. You got to cry it out. Favorite 80s film? I could answer like what's my favorite movie from the 80s, but I'm going to view this as like what movie defines the 80s. And I think it's pretty clearly Back to the Future, and I'm going to go with that. How are your two cats named? Well, we only have one cat. She was making a joke. It's Indy, and we named him Indy after Indiana Jones. But there's other reasons as well. You could say Hawkins, Indiana. You could say Indianapolis is where Georgia won the national championship, their first one in 41 years. You could say the Indiana Fever, but Indiana Jones is kind of the reason. And I got to pick the name because I never had a cat in my life. So, hot take, Gladiator's not a good movie. That's all I have to say to that. I love me some Gladiator. Do I like Man of Steel? Man of Steel's fine. I haven't watched it in I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. I don't think I've seen that movie in over a decade. You need to watch Prison Break. I've heard season 1 is super bingeable, and then I heard it kind of just gets worse with each passing season, which is not what you want to hear about a TV show. Let's see. Ooh, the Loki season 2 one's sick. Loki season 2 is phenomenal, and I think I'll sit here a while, let time pass. I think that's the line he said. It's one of my favorite lines. Romulus Steelbook, yes sir. Romulus VHS is real. I have it right here. I knew that Jacob would be jealous. I almost just dropped it. That would have been bad. My heart's up now. I feel like I'm standing on the top of a high building. Mando season 3 you can send back. Oh man, Mando season 3, guys. What are we doing? Do I think Max will die? No, but I think she might be permanently injured, and it's a bummer. It's very just I don't know. Is everyone going to make it out? I don't think everyone's going to make it out. Max might die, but I also say if they were going to kill her, they would have just left her dead. But how brutal would it be to, again, bring her back and then give us the false hope that she's going to live and then kill her? It would just be so unfortunate. So unfortunate. I've never been out of the U.S., so no, I have not been to Germany. Never even left the country, not even to the Bahamas or anything, which is crazy, I know. I've never watched The Rings of Power. I saw Tarantino talk about that. I was like, I disagreed with him strongly. To each their own, but I disagreed with him strongly. Who do you think will win the Natty realistically? Realistically, I do not have an answer for you. I don't think it will be Oregon. I'll tell you that much. I know that they're undefeated. I know they're ranked number 1. But I have this saying. It's pretty much true for the most part. You have to get there and lose before you get there and win. Oregon, under Dan Lanning, has not been to the national championship. They've not been to the playoffs. And you got to get there and lose before you can get there and win. That's how I've always felt. Texas got to the playoff last year and lost, so they could win this year. Georgia, all it takes is a couple hot streaks of winning games and playing your best ball, and that's how you win a Natty. I think I'm clearly biased. I'm a diehard Georgia fan. I think they have not played their best football yet, and they're potentially 10-2 after today. And like we're extremely close to completing the greatest comeback I would have ever seen, So, I mean, yeah, if the Bama Demons didn't exist, this team would be a one-loss team, because I'm not making excuses for Ole Miss. They got their ass whooped, okay? It was rainy. They didn't show up, and they got outplayed and outcoached. I will admit that. The Bama game, they should have won, which is crazy to say despite the turnovers. I think we had 4. Was it 2 Beck picks or 3 Beck picks and a fumble? One of those. And we went down 28-0, and we took the lead at some point in the game. That's a winnable football game somehow. I mean, and even like removing my Georgia bias, non-Georgia fans should have watched that game and known that Bama was a walking red flag. I mean, to let that happen is criminal. And I've seen morons be like, well, they just played prevent defense the whole time, and that's why they let them score all those points. No, go watch the tape, dummy. It's also like you guys did nothing. You were offensively inept the entire second half. It was a completely different game. Anyway, sorry, there's a train outside. But like, anyway, who do I think realistically wins the Natty? Realistically, I mean, I can't say Georgia. I think they can, but like, who, if not Georgia, whoever gets hot, and maybe that's Ohio State. Maybe it's Oregon, but I want it to be Georgia, and I'm rooting for that. What Stranger Things scene made you cry the most? The end of season 3, when Hopper's letter is being read by 11, and then after that, I would probably say in season 4, the Hopper Elle reunion, and then Eddie's death was really sad too. Early stream dub, yes, have to. We got a super chat from Dylan. Shout out, Dylan. Yo, happy birthday, brother. Hope you have a good day today. I appreciate it, Dylan. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, I'm hoping it's a good day as well. It'd be capped off wonderfully with a Georgia victory tonight. That would be a phenomenal way to celebrate turning 25. But thank you so much. And you guys who've sent super chats, thank you so much, truly. Means a lot, especially on the B-Day. Was Joseph Quinn good in Gladiator 2? Yeah, he was one of the standout performances. Denzel carried in terms of performances, but I'd say Joseph Quinn was number 2 in terms of like most like screen presence, aura, if you will. But he's up there for sure. He probably second favorite performance in the film. And then Pedro Pascal, I would say. Ollie says, imagine Steve is about to die and Nancy is freaking out, and he says, it's okay, Nance. Oh, you know what that reminds me of just reading that? It's okay, Tony. You can rest now. God, heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. Have I ever been in a plane? Yes, I've been on a plane a frequent amount of times, I'd say. Yeah, I'm honestly pretty confident that, I don't know. Never mind. All right. So where are we at? Have you ever been in a plane? Have I been in a plane? Yeah, I've been in a plane a lot. Sorry. Something in the chat just threw me for a second. All right. Favorite Spider-Man villain's got to be... Let me get my impression ready. Godspeed, Spider-Man. It's got to be Defoe's Goblin. That man is not only one of my favorite villains, but like straight up one of my, like, not only my comic book villains, but one of my favorite villains in movies, period. And yeah, I would say him, and if not him, Doc Ock. Sorry, I just had to text someone real quick. I would say, yeah, Doc Ock is 2. Number 1 is Goblin. Number 3 is probably Keaton's Vulture. And number 4 is probably... Damn, 4 is where it gets tough. I'm a Sandman advocate, and I know that's kind of a hot take, but I'm a Sandman advocate, to be honest with you. Carissa with the super chat. Thank you. Any question to ask with it, let me know, and I got you. What video games do you play, if you play any? Okay, so I answered this earlier, but I rattle them off. Spider-Man, the Arkham games, College Football 25, The Last of Us 1 and 2, and I also have played the Uncharted series. I've been asked about this a lot. I've been on the fence about making a video about it. For those who don't know what this is, there's a picture from, I believe, Jackson, Georgia, that has a date on it, 1989. And I don't know how to feel. I've still kind of been processing that. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make a video or discuss it. I still have to think on it. I'm still thinking on it. That's my answer to that. Hold on. Do you buy the popcorn buckets? Right there. Got me one right there. It's the Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket, the Wolvie one. They had a couple other options there when I went. I made like a short about it, but yeah, I got the Deadpool and Wolverine one. I made a fun little short about it, and I like popcorn buckets. I don't go all out for them. I know some people do. I think 3C Films gets a lot of them. I've seen his videos, but yeah, I don't go all out for them though. Ollie says, is it a hot take that I think 11 and Will both survive the show? I think they've had too much trauma and deserve a happy ending more than anyone. I don't think that's a hot take, no, because they definitely have gone through some shit, and if like they've been put through the ringer to this point, wouldn't it make sense for them to live? I'll say this. I think I said this with my buddy the other day. I think that the main 4 kids are probably the safest now. I've come to that realization that to kill the 4 main kids, it would be too harsh. 11's not as safe in my opinion because she's kind of tied to everything. And so for her to go away and then have, as a direct result of her dying or whatever, if that means the Upside Down goes with her, then so be it. Obviously, I don't want anyone to die. Excuse me, but that would make sense. Killing like Lucas, Dustin, or Mike or Will would just be a little cruel, in my opinion, because you want to see them live. They don't deserve death. I think that's why it's pretty safe bet to say that the adults and the older teens are more likely to die than anyone else. But we'll see. What's your thoughts on Robin and Vicky's relationship? How do I think it will unfold? I think that it will unfold. They'll be together, but I don't know if they'll like stay together by the end of season 5. I think they'll have like a not a fling, but like they'll have like a short romance, but I don't think they're like long-term partners for like the long haul, in my opinion. But I think they'll have some sweet moments still. Yeah. Let's see. I didn't know about this. Is this like a Call of Duty, Marvel Overwatch, and it looks hype? I didn't know. I'm not as big of a gamer as I wish I was, honestly, but that still sounds sick. I'll be like, that sounds pretty dope. Let's see. Best character arc in Stranger Things. It's really hard to not say Steve Harrington because if you look at his growth from season 1 to now, I mean, in season 1, he's, written as this unlikable jerk boyfriend. And then in season 2, he matures a bit. He's like, steps into that babysitter role. Season 3, he's like really sort of coming to terms with what he's done in the past and how he treated Nancy. And season 4, I mean, it's just growth every season. I'd say it has to be probably him. If not him, maybe I'd say, let's see. No, I think it's got to be him. It's got to be Steve. It's got to be Steve. If not Steve, maybe Hopper. But even then, Steve's development, like he's had a really great arc so far. And I think that it sucks to say this, but I think that it would really kind of end wonderfully for him with a sacrifice, but I don't want that to be the case. We'll see though. We shall see. To answer your question, Carissa, I actually don't know. I think there might be a minimum amount. But I saw this and I appreciate it. I think there could be. I actually don't know. But yeah, thank you. Have you seen Smile or Smile 2? No, but there's a Smile 2 clip making the rounds on Twitter that I've seen. I just scroll past it on the off chance I ever watch it. I know what happens in the first Smile movie. I think I had someone summarize it for me once because I was like, I'm not interested in watching. But I know of Smile. I don't think I'll ever watch it. I have no desire to. Truly. Favorite Wallow song? Fantastic question. I know that people had been commenting on the Wallows shirt that I had worn, and it's such a tough question when I get asked this. So I got to go to my Spotify app, which, by the way, Spotify users, we've got Spotify Wrapped dropping soon, I believe. Let me tell you real quick. I mean, it's tough. It's really a toss-up for me. I'm a fan of... Ooh, let's see. This is so hard. I love Remember When. Remember When is one of my favorite ones, honestly. But I also thoroughly enjoy the new album. Bad Dream stands out to me. Yeah. I mean, anything they do. Wallows rules. I got to see them too. So Wallows they're my jam. I got to see them back in August. Mom Steve. The Last of Us or Cobra Kai? Are you asking about the show? I think I would watch Cobra Kai over it because I mean it has 6 seasons, 6.5 damn near by the time this part's over. I'd say The Last of Us is more of a rarity for me to rewatch. The games, I mean, the first game's awesome. Second game's long as hell, but still the storytelling there it's something to witness. You got to check it out if you haven't seen it, or at least play through the first 2 games. But look, I'd take Cobra Kai, personal preference. I have not watched From. I've heard of From, but I haven't heard of it. Carissa says I'm moving to Atlanta tomorrow. Any tips as a Georgia resident? Very cool, Carissa. I would say traffic is hell. And just know that going in, depending on your occupation, I would say avoid, 85 at certain times of the day if you can, and find like back roads to avoid it because it's awful. The traffic stinks. And there's a lot of good food and fun things to do on the weekends and cool places to visit, but traffic stinks. That's like my biggest piece of advice for you. Just know that. I saw this Ollie Stranger Things finishing up Summer 89. I've seen that, and I think I will probably make a video on it at some point. But yeah. Painted on End of Beginning, fantastic song. I had listened to Joe prior to like that blowing up on TikTok, but it was cool to see that blow up on TikTok. I love that song. I always had listened to it and get emotional, kind of just thinking about like specifically driving around my hometown, and like the lyrics just really hit there, like you're back in this place, and yeah, it's just, you get emotional, nostalgic listening to it for a certain time in your life, and it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of music. Josh with the super chats, thank you, saying, I personally think that in terms of being tied to the Upside Down, Will is most closely linked, not L. Opening a portal does not mean she created it. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, in season 1, Will obviously gets taken to the Upside Down, so there's a clear link there, but 11 v Vecna more so is what I was getting at. Their history, the entire, scene in the piggyback with them. They like, there's more of a connection there, and I don't want to say too much for those who haven't seen the first Shadow play, but if they take things from that play and sort of make them canon in the show, and I can't say what I'm getting at, but it'll make that 11 Vecna whole Upside Down connection a lot stronger. So yeah, we'll see, but I'm interested regardless. I do think there's a lot to play around with Will's backstory here, specifically his time in the Upside Down. And I do believe we will see his time in the Upside Down from his POV finally, because again, Ross Duffer posted the picture of Noah Schnapp next to the younger version of Will, and he's got like dots on his face. So they're going to young CGI Will, I think. And I'm here for it. I'm excited to see what they cook up there. So yeah, I mean, regardless, 11 and Will, we've got a lot to, uncover with them in this final season. It'll be interesting to see it all unfold. I appreciate that, Dawson. Appreciate it. Super Angelo says, happy B-Day, Chris. Well, thank you. Do you think the person Mr. Miyagi killed in Sakai Taikai is connected to somebody we know? That would be bonkers. I think no. I think they just more of the emphasis is more on the fact that Miyagi killed someone and withheld that info from Daniel, and Daniel's kind of having this like realization that Miyagi's not exactly who he thought he was. And so I think that's what more the instance is. But that would be a big twist if they were like, this is who he killed, and it's someone connected to like Silver, and that's why he has this thing against him, or like someone connected to Kreese. I don't know if that would be the case, but that would be pretty wild. What are your top 5 singers? Happy birthday, underrated king. Well, thank you. Top 5 singers? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not like a... That's a weird question for me. Does that mean like ability to sing or just singers in general? It's tough for me to answer that one. I would say, I'll answer this as like a solo artist, I guess. We'll go that route, got that route with it. Big Olivia Rodrigo stan, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm pretty proud of that too. Who else? Let's see. All time solo singer, and I'm not basing this off of like ability to sing. I'm just saying like how much I listen to their music. We're gonna sneak Bo Burnham in there for the bit. Bo Burnham. I'll go Joe Keery. I will go with Harry Styles, and this is all modern stuff intentionally. And then you know what? I'll take me some I don't know. Lil Dicky. Why not? Do you think Dustin is in danger? No, I think Dustin's safe. I think Dustin is very safe. To kill Dustin would be maybe the coldest thing this show could do, and I doubt they're ever going to do that. Am I worried about Captain America 4 given all the reshoots? I kind of am. Yeah, I think that of the 3 MCU movies next year, that has the chance to be the weakest. But I don't think it's going to be a dumpster fire. I still have hope for it to be a solid film. But I do want this movie to be done right, because I think Sam Wilson is a great, strong character in the MCU, and I want to see him. I want to see Anthony Mackie's character succeed. I want to see Harrison Ford as Red Hulk be badass. I just worry, what are they changing up so much behind the scenes with it? It's kind of scary, not going to lie. Hi, Chris. I'm Jackson. I'm a huge fan of yours. This is my first time tuning into a live stream. Happy birthday. Well, thank you, Jackson. I appreciate that. I'm turning 25. The big 2-5. Quarter life, they say. The quarter life crisis. Hasn't hit me yet, but we'll see. Dr. Pepper Zero, by the way. Favorite musician in the Stranger Things cast has got to be Joe Keery. Got to be Joe Keery. The opening scene of The Social Network is perfection. All will do you one more. The entire movie is perfection. How about that? The entire freaking movie is perfection. Chris is a great singer. He's been called the songbird of his generation. But I don't sing in front of folks anymore, all right? That needs to be known. I don't sing in front of people anymore. Anyone know what we're referencing? Elias says, happy birthday, bro. Love your content. Been watching for a few years. Keep up. Hope you have a great day. Well, thank you. I hope you have a great day as well. And I appreciate the kind words. Which death was more emotional? Tony Stark's from Endgame or Logan's from Logan? For me, Tony Stark from Endgame. Logan it hit hard as well. But Tony Stark from Endgame, I had watched that character more and been more deeply connected to him over a longer period of time in my life than Logan. And so that just hit. That really did. That one got me good. Even though I was kind of in disbelief. I'm almost in shock more than anything when like my favorite characters die. And so it takes a second for me to process. Like the crying isn't immediate for me. The emotional impact kind of hits me after I leave the theater. I'm like, whoa, that actually happened. But in the moment, I'm almost in shock more than anything. I'm like, is this actually happening right now? Gotta go, but happy birthday, rooting for Georgia tonight. Yes, sir. Go Dogs. And have a great rest of your day, man. I answered this earlier, but I'll answer it again. Home Alone. Goated Christmas film. Goated Christmas film. When is the podcast coming back? Eventually. I don't want to give any dates or any of that because I don't want to give false hope, but it's coming back in time. It's coming back in time. I'll probably go for like 10 to 15 more minutes. So keep firing off your questions, having a fun time here on the B-Day stream. But if you guys want to guarantee I get your question, comment, or concern, you got something you've been dying to ask that you want to make sure I answer, Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to that. It's also a huge way to help support the channel, and it's a birthday gift. If you guys are interested in giving me one, it's by no means a requirement or anything. It's just throwing it out there if you're interested. But yeah, it's Black Friday as well, and I think rarely my birthday falls on this day, but it's very close to Thanksgiving this year. Next year, it's only 2 days after Thanksgiving, so we got a couple years where it's close, and then I think it'll kind of rotate back over to being like 5 to 6 days away from it. So it's always right around Thanksgiving, though, my birthday. Okay. Yeah, Logan's hit it a little different after Deadpool. I could see that. If I go back and rewatch Logan, I feel like it will hit more. Seeing Alec Utkoff and Joseph Quinn in Gladiator 2 makes you realize how successful Stranger Things has been at propelling the actors into massive careers. I agree. Shout out Alec Utkoff being in Gladiator 2. I feel like they cut a lot of his scenes because I know they cut down a lot of Gladiator 2. It was going to be 4 hours originally. I would have loved to have seen more of his character, but he got a couple speaking lines in there. I was like, hell yeah. That I got to be on a panel with that guy and talk to him. Oppenheimer or Infinity War? Oppenheimer's a better movie. I'll say that straight up. But, I mean, Infinity War is so endlessly rewatchable. But honestly, I think Oppenheimer. I love Oppenheimer, guys. I do. I think about it a lot. It might be a Roman Empire of mine, okay? I think about that movie too much, and I also play the score way too much. Would Stranger Things still be your favorite show, even if the ending sucked? It's hard to say, because look at Game of Thrones. I mean, I loved Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 7, and then the final season dropped the ball, and I was like, man, it leaves a sour taste in your mouth. How you end is extremely important. And if Stranger Things really dropped the ball, it would hurt. It would hurt bad. What movie would you go to see first opening day? Sonic 3 or Mufasa? I would probably take Sonic 3, but honestly, I think this is a weak Christmas movie season. I'm going to be honest. I think Wicked's still going to have long legs, and Wicked might even be outperforming some of these movies that come out by the time it comes out, especially with the sing-along screenings dropping. We'll see. Get your waffle irons today, people. Shout out Thanksgiving. I've watched a couple episodes of Dave, but I've never actually watched all of Dave. Is there any Stranger Things news? There's one thing making the rounds about a potential flash forward to a certain year that was referenced earlier in the stream. I'll just say that. Favorite kill on Thanksgiving? Probably, I mean, it's the one that stands out to me. Let me think real quick. I mean, the Tim Dillon character, with the turkey carver, and then when he feeds the cat after, that's always funny to me. That's probably the one I'd go with. Favorite character in OBX? I answered this earlier. Favorite Funko Pop that you own? I love this question. It's cheating now because like when I get a pop autographed, it just enhances the pop. But I would say even despite all the awesome Stranger Things ones I have, that Doc Brown from Back to the Future with the white Christopher Lloyd signature, the paint pen was popping that day. That might have to be my answer. Chris, do you prefer Stranger Things, Cobra Kai, Last of Us, or Wednesday? Stranger Things. And then I would say Cobra Kai, and in order of how you put them is my preference. Stranger Things, Cobra Kai, Last of Us, Wednesday. What do you think is the most overrated Disney movie? I would say from Walt Disney Animation Studios, Fantasia, which is like a very old school hot take. But Fantasia and Fantasia 2000 are almost unwatchable to me. They're just not my jam at all. Most of it is just orchestras playing over animation with no semblance of a plot or connectivity. It's just these lights flashing on screen. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? Art house in a sense. Experimental is the word I was looking for. That's what I would describe it as. It's very bizarre. I can't recommend Fantasia to anyone personally. I can't do it. We'll do it live. Would you recommend Violent Night? I would. It's kind of like a guilty pleasure because I know a lot of people hate it and think it's stupid, but I still enjoy watching it every holiday season. You got David Harbour slamming beers as Santa and just kicking ass. And it's like basically a Die Hard ripoff too with some kind of lame characters, but it's a fun movie. So it's kind of one I just enjoy to toss on and kind of turn my brain off and watch around the holidays. Top 3 songs to be in Stranger Things 5. When I get asked this question, it's so tough for me because they've done so well selecting music. Like I have full faith in whatever they do, whatever the trailer song is, whatever the big song of season 5 is. Like I know they're going to crush it, but I like, who am I to sit here and pick a song, you know? But something I would love to see. And then you got to look up like, well, it's an 80s song, but you got to look up like the date it came out. So let me look up this one song and see when it came out. Let me look it up. This song, it came out in 1985, according to Google. Head Over Heels would be awesome. Head Over Heels would be my pick. One of my number one picks to be in it. I don't know when it would fit in or to what capacity, but I would love to see that. Maybe like as they're like early on in the season, and it's like after we do a little time jump from the end of season 4 to season 5, that's playing as we like go through Hawkins or something. I don't know. That would just be a cool one to hear. Would be a great one to hear, actually. Can you show us your favorite Stranger Things Funko Pop? Can you guys see it? There's a couple back there. I don't want to move it because like the set's kind of hard to put back together sometimes, but that's Steve and that's Robin, and they're both signed. Pink ink, blue ink, perfect next to each other. All right. That's probably what I'll say right now. Favorite celebrity you've met? That's such a difficult question. I don't know if I can even answer it, to be honest with you. I mean, Sholo Maradwani was delightful. I'll say that much, but I don't know. I don't want to, it's too hard to say right now, but Sholo's a standout from Cobra Kai. Martin Cove's a standout. Joe Keery was awesome. Come on now. Let's see. What's a director with no misses? Nolan. Any Oscar predictions? It's going to be a really weird Oscars, and I have a lot of homework to do if I want to even be in the know. But I don't think it's going to be like the polar opposite of last year's Oscars. What I mean by that is last year was like these huge blockbuster movies were nominated and won a bunch of stuff, and then this year it's like the complete opposite. Where I mean, I think the viewership will take a hit, and I'm not even commenting on the movie quality or anything. I'm just saying like. You had Barbenheimer last year. You had a couple other big films in the conversation. And this year, it's like, what's the biggest movie that could get nominated? Like Wicked, I guess. Wicked and Dune 2 could get nominated as like the popular films that a lot of people went and saw. But it's going to be a field of movies that are just more niche. And that's not a bad thing. Like I haven't seen Anora. I haven't seen Conclave, but those are going to get nominated, I've heard. And they're just less like, I mean, I think a lot of movies nominated, and especially acting categories, it's just less likely to land with the common person who just is a regular moviegoer. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm more hyped for Sonic 3, but I'm not really hyped for either, to be honest with you. I would love a Jopper wedding. I think that would be beautiful. But first, more importantly, get them their damn dinner at Enzo's. All right? That's what we need. I have not seen the Christopher Reeve documentary. I haven't done it. Don't know if I ever will, but maybe. Never say never, I guess. Top 3 Nolan films. Oh, right now, honestly, I would put Oppenheimer in the top 3. I would put Inception in there, and I'd probably put like The Dark Knight or The Prestige. Of course. Yeah, of course. Top 3 movie scores of all time. Oppenheimer is one I listen to more than any. It's comfortably my favorite movie score of all time. I know every track. You just play it. I'm there. I know it. Then I would probably say... then I would probably say... Let me go to Spotify. I have a playlist. This is my cheat code. I would say so... If I... Yeah. I would probably say The Social Network, maybe... And then damn near, like, I'm going to cheat and say Moneyball's underrated, but Oppenheimer, I'll go Oppenheimer, cheating with the original trilogy here, and then I would probably say The Social Network's great, but I don't listen to The Social Network as much as I wish I did. I don't know. What am I saying? Dustin sacrifices himself for Steve. I would not be okay mentally. That's my answer to that. I would be unwell, physically and mentally unwell. Worst episode of Stranger Things, comfortably The Lost Sister, comfortably. Happy birthday. Well, thank you. Josh with the super chat. Happy birthday, Chris. Will Stranger Things at the end with the kids theme. Well, I appreciate the super chat. I think kids will play, or some iteration of kids will play in the final episode. I would love it if it played near the end and all the kids are together back at the Wheeler house one last time. That would be beautiful. And I think that we could get something like that with, it playing and them riding their bikes one final time, maybe. Oof. Love it. I don't know what Beast Games is. Regarding Skeleton Crew, did you mean Squid Game, maybe? I don't know. I didn't watch the new Squid Game trailer, by the way, but I would say, yeah, I don't know if I'm even going to review Skeleton Crew. I'm kind of at a point with some Star Wars media where I'm like, I'm not even going to touch it. I'll watch it, but I don't know if I'm even going to do anything for it. Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate the kind words, Samuel. Thanks for making a quick appearance. Thank you. Stranger Things over Cobra Kai. I get asked a lot. I take Stranger Things over, but I love me some Cobra Kai. I don't get it twisted. And then I'll probably take like 1 or 2 more questions. So if you guys have any, fire them off. If you want to get a last second super chat in, fire it off. But that was a fun one. We'll answer 1 or 2 more. Make them good ones. And then we'll wrap the stream up. Ooh, Rock the Casbah. Rock the Casbah. I would love that song making an appearance. And you get the Clash in there too. Little season 1 callback and season 2. I'd be here for that. That would be sick. Them kind of riding around in the car and it almost like them like riding in the tunnels if that's where they end up. That would be sick, dude. I would be a big fan of that. That would be awesome. Awesome stuff, man. Let's see. I love that question. I'll go answer this one. Melted Bricks has top 3 Pixar films. Give me Ratatouille, give me Toy Story 3, and give me Monsters, Inc. I actually think I have a Pixar ranking, and I want to make sure that I didn't mess anything up there. All right, let's see. Where is it? Where's my Pixar ranking? It's somewhere on my notes. So I'd actually go Ratatouille, Toy Story 3, and Toy Story, and then Monsters, Inc. Those are my top 4. Is Lord of the Rings a top-tier trilogy? Yeah, undoubtedly. It's an all-time trilogy. Josh says, sorry I'm late. We'll watch this later on. No worries, dude. I appreciate the super chats. And yeah, if you guys are watching on the replay, I know that it's a busy day for a lot of people, holiday season, Black Friday. If you watch this on the replay, I appreciate you guys. And hit the like button. I didn't even say that once. If you guys are in here real quick, hit the like button. There's 71 in here. Let's get at least 71 likes. Hit that like button. It helps out a good bit. It's free. It helps the channel. Hit it. It helps a lot. Should I watch the Gladiator movies? I haven't seen either. Yeah, definitely watch the first. If you like the first, give the second a go, but I think the first is far better. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, again. I thought everyone hated Cars too. I guess some people don't. I know someone who doesn't. The hat guy, you might know him as. But I think the Shire is burning. Mordor it is. Yeah. Love the Stranger Things references. Love it. Happy birthday. And Papa is back. I don't know. You got to watch my recent video to find out more on that. You got to. But I think that's a good one to end it on. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate the support. If you're here live, thank you. Hit the like button. It helps out a lot. If you're here on the replay, thank you. If you guys just hung out the whole time, didn't ask a question, just being here means a lot. Thank you to those who asked questions, those with the like button, those who sent super chats. It means a lot. Here's to 25 years on this planet. It's bizarre to think about. But this next year is going to be awesome. I think 2025 might be the best year for movies of our lifetime. TV show, movies, you name it. It's going to be incredible. Lots of exciting things happen. Lots of amazing opportunities around the corner, hopefully. And I'm excited to go through it all with you guys. So I appreciate your support. Thank you guys so much for joining in here today. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Go Dogs. And that'll do it for this birthday live Q&A. Another one in the books. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.